I'm back in the studio. I've got several things I need to talk with you about today. The first one being the inflation reading which came out this very morning. This is a great example why I want to talk about it first because it's about how I always tell you to get positioned ahead of time. This report comes out and everyone else says, oh, the Federal Reserve is going to lower rates. So all of a sudden all this money flows into things like gold, which is up $50 an ounce today. But you already knew that ahead of time. You're already positioned. So you get to benefit as all the money flow comes in. You already knew that the Federal Reserve is going to start lowering rates. Now the rest of the world is allowing themselves to see that too, and they're reacting to it. Inflation falls 0.1% in June from prior month, helping case for lower rates. That's from CNBC. The CPI, a broad measure of cost for goods and services, declined 0.1% from May, putting the 12-month rate at 3%, around its lowest level in more than 3 years. Excluding volatile food and energy costs, the so-called core CPI increased 0.1% monthly and 3.3% from a year ago. The annual increase for the core rate was the smallest since April 2021. A 3.8% slide in gasoline prices held back inflation for a month. And I can't stop watching this 9-year-old kid talking about how inflation is affecting her. Just so you know, inflation, higher costs are affecting everyone. And this girl does a great job summing up what we are all feeling.
Girls, what's just happened?
So, there's an ice cream van there selling just 2 ice creams with 2 chewing gums in it.
Yeah.
For bloody £9 for 2 of them.
£9 for 2?
Yeah, £9.
As I said, gold prices are up $50 an ounce today, and I had to keep adjusting the script as I went through because while I'm getting ready, the price of gold just kept on going higher and higher and higher. And you notice that lately, gold prices were holding strong even when there was negative news that brought gold prices down a bit. They always recovered, it came back. They sort of lingered around. You never see a football game where one team is beating the other team pretty bad, but the other team sort of lingers around, keeps it close, and they always do a fourth quarter comeback. That's what's going on with gold right now. When there's bad news, it doesn't really affect the prices of gold. When there's good news, it really starts giving it a good boost. Do you remember that it was not that long ago that gold prices were under $2,000 an ounce and people were humming and hawing about, is it going to break 2,000, going to hold that point? We're at $2,420 today. The previous high, the all-time high, was $2,454 intraday, and it closed that day at $2,438. So with gold prices right now, they're about $10 an ounce less than the closing price of the all-time high in US dollars. And not just US dollars, but every other currency in the world, gold prices are higher in that currency than they ever have been. Recently in many currencies, gold hit an all-time high because the debasement of all the currencies in this big, massive race to the bottom is pronounced and extreme, and most economies don't know how to operate other than create fake wealth by creating fiat currency. And when we do a weekend opportunities and updates report, which I send out on the weekends, I'm going to be talking about platinum, which is 50 times more rare than gold. Historically, twice the price of gold. Right now, it's about half the price of gold. There's a lot more industrial uses than your airbag. So we're going to talk about that, uranium, and also about Victoria Gold that had this big, massive landslide that now there's cyanide in the water in some places. And the entire mine is shut down until they get their head around this. We're going to talk about that in the weekend update. And if you remember, I sent out an alert about 3 companies I bought recently, oil and gold companies, because the war in southern Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah is getting more pronounced every day. It's a hot war now. They're shooting at each other every day. It's just not in the media that this is actual war. So that's going to put a lot of upward pressure on oil prices due to the uncertainty. And gold prices too, as a risk premium, a war premium. Plus the gold miners are releasing their Q2 earnings pretty soon, and those are going to reflect the operational results from mining and selling gold at these higher prices, higher for longer. The average price of gold sold over the last quarter is a lot higher than the quarter before it, and that's a lot higher than the quarter before it. Just because people are wrong about valuing the gold mining companies right now. They're misunderstanding the value of these companies, and they don't realize that they should be trading a lot higher right now. Just because everybody else is wrong doesn't mean you have to be wrong also. This is actually where your opportunity comes from. I always tell you the opportunity comes from the shifts in the money flows. When people's psychology changes. When everybody realizes that interest rates are going to come down, so gold prices are going to go up, and they all go and buy gold mining stocks, you're already invested in that, and you're already in a profitable position already. It'll just get more profitable. But my point was, when I invested in those stocks, the price of oil was $78.50. Now it's at $82.72 last I checked. Gold prices, $2,354, now $2,428.
That is going to get nowhere. One that 100 miles straight out of £1 a p or £2. That is going to get nowhere with that.
No, he ain't, is it?
No, he ain't.
That's well bad, isn't
You
it?
should know. And he only does bloody card. Stood there with my cash.
So this trade's going to play out over the next couple of weeks. When the quarterlies come out, I'm thinking about taking profits on some of these stocks which I just bought. The oil companies I'll probably hold for quite a while right now, and you should think about doing the exact same thing. With the gold company, I want to maybe take some profits off of the table just because I've got a lot of investments in gold. So this is a temporary short-term trade of about a month. So you've got the expanding war in the Middle East, and I don't even want to get into the details. If you look into it, you'll see that it is about to break out. At the same time, you've got the quarterly results coming out for the mining companies. Silver and gold miners who are now benefiting from the higher prices of gold. It's going to show up in the prices of their stocks. And at the same time, you've got the realization, finally, that, okay, the Federal Reserve does have to lower interest rates. Some people knew that, but the minority, when you're watching a financial commentator, they might talk about it. But the overwhelming masses of people did not realize that rates are going to start coming down. And in one-dimensional thinking, they realize that that will mean that things like gold prices will increase. And if you think gold prices are going to increase, one of the ways to play that is to buy gold mining stocks. So slow clap, they're catching up to us. And also a special shout out to Ari, who is a longtime supporter of this channel, and he's launching his own YouTube channel, brand new. I want you guys to please show some support for Ari in his Dollars for Pennies YouTube channel. Ari is a brilliant guy, calm, logical. You guys will really benefit by seeing what he has to say. And if you want to learn more from me directly, you want to have direct contact, and also get a special monthly newsletter that we send out, the Peter Leeds Insider exclusive, you can consider becoming a Peter Leeds Insider. For a couple bucks a month, you're supporting the channel, keeping us sponsorship free, advertisement free, independent, and we produce more and more content the more support that we receive. Our honest and integral and ethical message about how to invest well, how to get a leg up without losing money, without hurting other people, taking money from them. There's ways you can get a leg up, turn a few $100s into a few thousand. You do that once, you do it again.
Bloody hell.
That's well bad, isn't it?
Bloody well bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet you can hear me.
And in today's day and age, it's very important that you just don't give in to all the inflation and all the negative things that are happening in the world. You need to land on your feet just so that you can help the people that you care about. They might need your help.